War Eagle War Report family, I am your host, C Dub, and today's show is brought to you by GWT2 Energy Consulting Services. If you're a restaurant owner and you're looking for ways to save your energy, please visit GWT2Energy.com. The weekend tailgate starts right now.
You are now listening to the unmistakable sound of the War Report. Weekend Tailgate. It's your boy, Ike Jones. Be Will. C-Dub. Mike G. Get ready. Sit on back as we bring you the War Report. Weekend Tailgate.
War Eagle, War Report family, get on in here. Happy 4th of July. We got great news, guys. Awesome news. And none other than Mike G is going to tell us all about it. What you got, bro?
Joining us on the 4th of July. God bless America. I appreciate everybody taking a little bit of time on a Sunday to hang out with us. So as a thank you, you get first dibs at our next giveaway. We are giving away tickets to the Akron game, but we have some very specific instructions on how to win these tickets. So it is simple. If you have ever seen any of our pre-recorded content, we usually do a premiere at a set time. So in place of building rapport, we're actually premiering for the record. If you're an insider, you know what this segment is. We talked about blue chip ratio along the offensive line. So that premieres for everybody tomorrow. How many blue chips does it take for Auburn football to have a good offensive line? We did a detailed breakdown on the numbers of almost every team in the top 15 in recruiting, and we talked about Auburn and where our blue chips are coming from and whatnot. So this premieres tomorrow morning. I need something from you guys. I need you to watch that premiere, and later in the broadcast, I'm going to give you a hashtag to drop in the live comments on the premiere tomorrow. So if you subscribe to our channel and you're an insider, some of you already know this, please turn on all notifications so you can get notified when that video premieres tomorrow. So go into your YouTube app, turn on all notifications for the War Report, and at the 30-minute mark, I am going to give everybody the hashtag to enter the drawing. Everyone who does this will get one entry into the drawing. We are allowing insiders to get up to 8 entries into the drawing. So if you're an insider already, you will get 3 automatic entries. And then there will be 5 calls to action where you can get an additional 5 entries. So if you're just a subscriber, you can get up to 5. If you're a supporter, you can get 7. If you are an insider, you get 8 chances to win season tickets to the Akron game. So again, at the 30-minute mark, I am going to give you guys the hashtag to drop in the live comments of the premiere of For the Record tomorrow morning. And you can get a chance to get entered into this giveaway to win tickets to the Akron game, first game of the season.
Awesome. Well, guys, you heard it here. And if you're coming in a little late, of course, we're going to share that information again later on. Please be sure to smash the like button, drop a War Eagle in the comments. If you're new and not quite sure what this is, please drop your city so we'll know where you're listening or watching this from. And also, please be sure to share our videos, share our content. If you're on social media, please use the hashtag Get Your Weight Up. You can add us at the War Report if you are in the Twitterverse. But please be sure to let people know that we're out here. Now, what else we got coming up, Mike G?
Oh, man, listen, I mentioned it already, but tomorrow morning we're dropping For a Record. This is an insider exclusive, but we're opening this first one up to everybody so you guys can take a look. Insiders, you guys give us, cash every month for exclusive access to content. This is one of those pieces. So similar to building rapport, we'll let everybody see a few of these before we made it insider exclusive. It's going to be a one-time only. So Monday, tomorrow morning, we are going to premiere For the Record, where we take a deep dive. We partnered with Justin Ferguson over at the Auburn Observer. Justin gives us interesting stats. Him and I call each other about once a week to chop it up about just advanced statistics on Auburn football. Justin is a numbers guy, and I appreciate talking football with him. But this segment is co-sponsored by Justin at the Auburn Observer. And it's interesting. I mean, there's been lots of talk about the offensive line and what kind of play we're going to need to get from them this year for our pass game and our run game to be able to be effective. And I think a lot of you guys would be shocked at, in some of the best years we've had, what those lines have looked like in terms of blue chip ratios. So don't want to miss this segment tomorrow morning. As always, hit the comments. Let us know what you think. And please, 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 if you can catch it live tomorrow, I know tomorrow's a holiday for a lot of people. So if you can catch it live tomorrow, jump in the live comments during the premiere and then drop that hashtag that we're going to give you later in the broadcast so that you can have a chance to win those season tickets. Other than that, we are also giving away a mug today. So if you want to sip from the cup of greatness, here's your chance if you don't already have one. So hashtag get your weight up in today's comments to enter that drawing. And as always, at the 1 hour mark, we will draw for that. So hashtag get your weight up, check your spelling, make sure it's right, and you will enter to be able to get into that drawing. We are officially partnered with the Lee County Humane Society. A big shout out to everyone who has gone to our GoFundMe. Some of you regularly once a month. We appreciate every dollar that's donated to help us save an animal's life. For those of you who follow me on social media, thank you for all the well wishes. Friday, I got a very good prognosis after getting a second opinion from what is the best vet here in DC. So cost me an arm and a leg, but I can tell you that there's no cost too great to save my puppy's life. And I'm grateful to the people over at Friendship Animal Hospital in DC for doing everything that they did to help us get on the right track and get her a full bill of health so that we can double up her years here. She's 7. She just turned 7. And I'm hoping to get at minimum another 7 years of love and joy out of her. So you can see Ike's Rescue here. We are passionate about rescue animals, and we appreciate everybody who donates to help us help the Lee County Humane Society save animals. So thank you guys. Other than that, again, become an insider. As you can see, we do provide benefits to insiders, and that will only grow as the season approaches because we have so much exciting content. I am bursting at the seams to tell you, but I have been assured by my partners here that I cannot tell you yet. So if you're an insider, you're going to know, and it's going to be amazing. So become an insider, right? Insiders get an additional an automatic 3 entries into the drawing for tickets to the Akron game. And we're excited about giving that away. Everything that you guys do to support us, we take that and we put it back into giving back to you. So I hope everybody sees that. Last but not least, visit our merch store. We've got some fly gear on there. You can find this link in the About section of our YouTube channel. You can also find our GoFundMe link in the About section of our YouTube channel as well, too. So that is all I got, gentlemen.
Sweet. Well, listen, we can get into it. Of course, we're talking about sporting news, top coaches in college football, top 50. We want to discuss a lot of coaches from the SEC as well as from around the country who made that list. But we do want to kind of keep you guys updated on other news before we get into that. We're going to keep you updated in case you haven't been engaged with some of the news. There's been some portal news as it pertains to some guys who were previously associated or connected to the program. Guys, as you know, Hal Presley, we talked about it a few weeks back. He left after, and what I've discovered was he wasn't even involved in practices at all. He just enrolled and then left. Clearly is not what he wanted. But he has now committed to Baylor. So he committed to Baylor. And what's interesting is that he was committed to Baylor prior to backing off of his pledge back, I think, towards the end of October of last year.
Yes, that's correct.
And committed to Auburn a few weeks later. And so I'm surprised that, he's stuck with his commitment, but as soon as he got to Auburn, realized Baylor's where my heart is. I want to be closer to home. So that's where he is. Best wishes to him. Also, Devin Barrett entered the transfer portal. We did a facts and all about him when it was announced he was moving back to the offensive side of the ball. And that was at a time where at that point we only had 2 scholarship running backs on the roster. So there was a lot of intrigue around him in terms of his ability to actually get his feet back up under him and actually learn the position and be able to contribute. At one point I felt that this guy he had a potential until we saw Shivers and his productivity. Had a feeling that he could have been the second leading rusher, but as it stands today, he is no longer with the program. And one thing to note with the transfer portal is July 1st was the deadline set by the NCAA for players to enter the portal in an effort to be immediately eligible in the 2021 season. So that's why you saw a lot of news here, not only with Auburn, but other schools and across the country in the SEC. So he leaves for the portal. Also, Jatarvius Whitlow. I hated calling him Booby Whitlow. I thought that was one of the most. We ought to do a facts and all talking about the worst Auburn nicknames of players that ever received.
We did the best ones. I guess we can go the other direction.
Yeah, we got to go. We got to talk about the worst one. But he is leaving Western Illinois. He didn't see the field in spring, and now he's back in the portal. And so, I don't have a lot. Just want to keep people posted. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts. I just wish these kids well, because at the end of the day, I'm rooting for these kids, whether they're playing for Auburn or not. I just hope that they are able to realize their dreams and accomplish whatever it is they set out to accomplish. But I didn't know if you guys had any more about this portal news.
The Devin Barrett thing was not a shock to me.
Yeah.
And, we've been asked a lot about Devin Barrett, and it just seemed like more time passed, Jarquez Hunter was starting to get, he's winning Ironmans of the week, and a lot of people felt like he was an underrated talent. And now what do we see? We see Devin Barrett is transferring. So it was going to be it was kind of a crowded backfield, I think, because Shivers really came on this spring. Yeah. And he took the weight room seriously, and it showed. It showed in the way he ran the ball. It showed in his physique. It showed in his attitude. And I think that he's going to make a solid number 2 back. So if you're Devin Barrett, the reality of the portal is kids no longer have to waste time in a situation where there is no hope that you're ever going to get a significant amount of playing time. So I do wish him well. I thank him for all his hard work, because he certainly did work hard. He worked hard in the offseason. He worked hard in the weight room. He worked hard while he was here, and he's just making the best decision for himself. Much love to Devin Barrett. I hope he finds much success wherever he lands.
Anything?
Yeah, I think Jordan Ingram getting signed was the handwriting on the wall for Devin Barrett. And then once you had the new kid hit campus, the freshman, and he's getting accolades, it was just like
right off the bat.
There's no spot for me here. Like, it's just he was done. He was done, man. So I'm not mad at it. He by all accounts is still a talented football player. So hopefully, like Mike said, he'll find success wherever he goes. But the running back room now has 5 running backs in it, right? So you've got your 2 definites with Tank and Shivers, then you've got Jordan Ingram, the transfer, and then you got Jarquez Hunter, and then you got Jay Sharp, right? Jay Sharp is number 44 who got some playing time during A-Day. So you've got 5 guys in the running back room right now, all of them talented in different ways. So I think we'll be good at running back. There's not a real need to go get another one out of the portal. In my opinion, there isn't. Even if you have a couple of guys get injured, I think you still have some talent there that can be bell cow type backs. So much love to him.
Best wishes to him. And I really wanted him at every move. I wanted him to make it. When they moved him to cornerback, when we recruited this kid, because I think he came out of the state of Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken, and kid had good speed. You just really thought that there was a space for him in Malzahn's offense. But when he moved to the defense, I think he moved at a time where we were kind of thin. in the DB area. So you was rooting for him there. He moves back over. We were thin at the time there. But again, as you guys previously mentioned, it's just he never was able to find where he fit. And hopefully wherever he goes, he finds a place where he fits. So best wishes to that young man, and War Eagle to him forever. Also, too, man, want to just talk real quick before we get into talking about the coaches. Talking about, does there need to be a cap on in name, image, and likeness endorsements? Mike has alluded to it, but I want to talk about, this isn't Auburn related, but it can have an impact on Power 5 conferences. As you guys may have heard in the news or through social media, Harsin Miller, which is Master P's son, he's a point guard at Tennessee State, recently signed a $2 million deal to become a brand ambassador for Web Apps America, which is a tech company.
Right.
And of course, if you know who his father is, this kid has never been hurting for money. And so one of the things that he was going to do, and I read an article for it on CBS Sports, one of the things that he wanted to do after he purchased himself a Tesla was put some of that money back into the community. And again, knowing his father and how he is, I mean, I can believe that. But my question is that pretty soon we're gonna see kids take advantage and not only leverage who they are, but leverage who their parents are or who they're connected to as a way to build their brand and negotiate some big deals down the road. And my question is that, is it becoming even more important that there's a cap placed in terms of how much these kids are able to make in endorsements, or do they just let this go wild?
Yeah, here's what I feel about it. Ultimately, when you're talking about sports, we're talking about football, right? We're talking about playing football.
Sure.
And your ability to be able to capitalize on some of these things is highly connected to your ability to be able to play football at a high level.
Yeah.
So the challenge that the coaches are going to have is keeping guys focused on the game, because if you are not good, you will lose the opportunity to some extent to be able to capitalize on any of that. When growing up, in church, our pastor always used to say that your gift will make way for you. Right. And I really believe that if you don't focus on the money, you focus on being good at something. You focus on being a master at your craft, and then all the other things start to come together to make opportunities for you from a sponsorship standpoint. Now, if companies are just going to hand kids dollars for accomplishing nothing, then I don't know how we control that necessarily. Because right. It's funny. Shout out to Chase H. We chat during the week too about footballs, and he hit me up and was just like, hey man, like, what do you think about NIL in general? Like, it seems like there's a mad dash for a lot of companies, YouTube channels, podcasts, everybody's running to try to get an endorsement from a player. And right. Similar to their gift making way for them, I'm like, listen, you can endorse a product if the product is still trash. I don't know how it really, it gets you some short-term pub, I guess. But right. you still need something to sell. And the player still needs something of notoriety that we would even listen to them. Like, I don't give a damn if Bo Nix drinks Milo's tea. I liked Milo's before Bo.
Well, Bama fans did, but
yeah, right. I thought Milo's was Bob. You know what's funny is it was kind of like a Birmingham thing. Like, I went to school, high school in Alabama, but it wasn't until I met you and Deontay Caesar that you guys put me on Milo's.
Yeah.
So in the target area that he is, because he's not a national household name. Like, they don't care about Bo Nix in Ohio or California. There's nobody out west that he's influencing to buy any product unless you are unless you're a Trevor Lawrence type talent or a true household name. That's not where he is right now. He hasn't earned that. So does this company, again, Milo's, I guess, if he's got a ton of followers on Instagram or Twitter or whatever social media forum he's active the most on, then I guess it does give you a short-term bump in terms of, exposure and publicity. But to me, that's fool's gold. So I think you'll see the rush here in the beginning, and then it will start to die out as companies start to realize that the long-term benefit to them is not as great if the player themselves do not carry, if their name doesn't carry any weight.
Right.
That's another reason for these kids not to want to go to some school and sit, because if you're sitting, what are the chances that some company is going to approach you and say, hey, we want you to sponsor our product?
Yeah.
Now, if you're a backup in Auburn, yeah, there are local companies there that may sponsor you for things, certainly. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings about the whole thing.
What you should keep an eye out on is the end of November, early December with the Heisman competition. I can see some of these guys being approached in December after they've had an amazing year where they have a high profile and be approached by these companies to endorse something. I can see that down the road for sure. But I think this is just kind of like you said, a big rush, just doing something you haven't been able to do before and always wanted to do it. I think that's what we're seeing, but I think you'll begin to see companies be a bit more strategic in who they target, especially when you begin to see some of these kids actually reach their potential at the college level.
Right.
But I what do you have, bro?
Yeah, I mean, the cap. No, I'm not a fan of capping anything. They're not capping it for anybody else. Then don't stop these kids from making money. And everybody who's all worried about people's focus, people who tend to lose focus. Money's not the thing that makes you lose focus. You either have focus or you don't, right? Like I'll say, like Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was a fool while he was in college. NFL money is not what made Johnny Manziel what he was. Getting money is not what makes people lose focus. People who lack focus lose focus easily. Money is not the thing. So like this whole perception that, oh, we got to worry about these kids. If that's a kid you had to worry about him before contracts became a problem. Like, it's just it. Like the perception that money changes people I think is a little overrated. Money allows you to become more of the fool that you were underneath the surface, because now the potential to act a fool is higher, right?
And
so
the tension comes with it too.
Right. But they already had a bunch of attention as the star player on that college campus. You are a star on that college campus with or without money in your pocket. So
the attention to their foolishness, to their foolishness, because now people have a vested interest in your stupidity.
And that's part of the thing too. It's like, it does put a microscope on a lot of the things that you do. And now can that guy handle that sort of pressure? That's a different issue. Right. And so I think that's the thing that you have to worry about, is like, besides grades and performance on the field, now I have my personal life that creeps into the microscope as well, because this company has a vested interest in my in whatever, right, and how I perform outside of the field, because then I become a brand ambassador. So it reflects on who that company is for endorsing me. So understood all of that. But the question is, should we cap the endorsements? I don't think so, because again, nobody else is being capped on what they're able to earn. So let them earn as much as they want to. It's the onus is on the companies for not giving too much money to a person, as Mike said, who hasn't proven anything yet.
Right.
If you want to waste your money, by all means, go ahead and do that. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. I wouldn't do it. People, somebody asked me, somebody said in the comments on one of our videos, is the War Report going to end up sponsoring again? I was like, War Report ain't got that kind of money. And if we did, I'm not giving it to none of these
people. It waters it down too, man. Honestly, like, we have had some amazing building rapport interviews with prominent former players. And, if you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now, we have never paid for an interview.
Nah.
Everybody who has talked to us talks to us because they want to talk to us.
Right.
That keeps the integrity of the interview upright. But if you're paying for interviews, people will say whatever you want them to say, right? Like, I mean, if I'm a player, I'm endorsing products that I use and that I like,
right?
For the most part.
For sure.
Because if Bo tells me drink Milo's, it's a bomb, and then I go drink it and it's trash, I'm like, well, not listening to Bo anymore. He clearly that was about the money.
Right.
Right. But you again, the end product still has to be there. And the part of this that I'm stressing here is I'd rather talk to a coach than a player any day when it comes to current players.
Sure.
Right. I take a coach over the current player any day. And the challenge that these coaches are going to have is that the money, well, I agree with Ike about distractions. I just think that the money provides an additional distraction because it provides another form for players who may not have had that avenue to become unfocused. Now it's there for them. And the coach is managing that because I wonder what kind of disciplinary clauses these companies are going to write into these NIL contracts. Yeah. You got a player endorsing your product and he's, curb stomping people in the field, or, he gets a arrest or he gets benched for disciplinary issues. How does that look?
Right.
That's the player endorsing your product. And the coaches are definitely going to have to manage that because they now have an additional distraction. And I'll tell you how they're going to manage NIL. There will be zero, and I mean zero tolerance for any loss of focus surrounding your sponsorships.
Yeah.
Bryan Harsin will not put up with any, I don't care what your obligations outside of playing football are, because playing football here is what gave you the opportunity to be able to even go and get that sponsorship.
Right.
Being a student athlete is your first priority, and it's not even close. Which is why which is why I don't think there should be a cap, but I hope that the market will cap it. Naturally.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. People are rushing to it. Like you said, people are rushing to it right now, but it's the novelty of it is going to wear off, and the business, they're going to have to start making better business decisions about where they're putting their money. Mm-hmm. What this actually is going to do, though, and maybe an unintended consequence, is you will see people who are better prepared for the NFL, right? Because you've been kind of into the
right.
NFL teams are going to know, all right, I can give this person $1 million contract and they're not going to go crazy because they didn't go, or they're going to assume they didn't go crazy in college when they got money. They're not going to go crazy when I put them on my roster. They've already been having to deal with all of that. You take the classroom portion out of that, you have that person be able to focus just on being able to come and operate and play, and then they can operate on this other stuff. I think you're going to get a better quality of NFL players that are focused on coming in here doing their job. More often, you're still going to have people who are going to blow it, right? It's just inevitable. Right. There's no foolproof way to make someone able to come in and operate at a high level, just because it doesn't happen in any other industry. It's not going to translate to sports.
These kids are going to need more guidance. They're going to need more guidance from, and I swear, if I don't see an NIL department come out, that's somebody from the university who's liaisoning with their agents, because they can hire agents for this stuff.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be super interesting. The transfer portal is going to get super interesting when it comes to this stuff. Let's say it's, we'll give Hal Presley, right? So he signed with Auburn, then he gets some sort of NIL deal that only really translates to the state of Alabama, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a Guthrie's deal, right? Then he goes to Texas, back to Texas. What happens with that deal? They dissolve the deal. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be happening, man. Mm-hmm. And, they're going to get this wrong a lot early. They're going to get it wrong a lot.
Yeah. Listen, we could say Tank Bigsby could go on to his Twitter following or whatever his biggest social media forum is and say, "Hey guys, the War Report is where it's at. Go watch the War Report," and we could get a flood of views from that. But if people don't find value once they get here, they're not going to stay anyway. The long-term benefit to us doesn't exist, because we still have to have a product that people want to consume. And the idea of all the exposure only matters if you have a product that everybody wants to consume and they just haven't heard about you yet.
Yeah.
I hate talking about other podcasts and stuff, but the one that stood out to me that Chase pointed out was Zach Blackerby over All About Auburn.
Yeah, somebody said Locked On Auburn.
Auburn. He got 4 players. One of them is Sawyer Pate. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, well, first of all, what kind of pub is Sawyer Pate getting your broadcast? And then secondly, even if you have a plan to bring those players on, what the hell are they going to say?
What can they say?
Nothing. Nothing. Not without
Right.
finding the bench. Coaches are going to be monitoring this. You don't get to get on TV and then just say anything because, one thing that I'm really proud of here as the War Report is our content has never been built on a scoop.
Yeah.
Guess what we heard? It's never been built on rumors and gossip. That's always been just about
we
analysis.
hear a lot.
Yeah, we hear a lot. We just never talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So now it may help us form our opinions, what we know, but it's not really gossip because what we're being told usually are facts. They just come from sources, and we just say, "Hey, listen, we're never going to repeat that because it usually will be to someone's detriment if we repeat it."
Right.
And I don't want to be popular so bad that I'm willing to sell somebody out who told me something in private.
Right.
Sometimes it's just nice to know because now we know what we're looking at and we understand it. But sharing it with everybody to get them to like you is not something that I'm interested in. And for a lot of content creators who are going to be rushing out there to form relationships with these players, I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, and yes, I am throwing shade. If your content is trash, it doesn't matter who endorses it. It doesn't matter. If when I get there, all you're dealing is trash burgers, it doesn't matter what player comes there. And you can try to get that player to come on and talk, but if they can't say anything of note or value anyway, which is why I'd rather talk to the coaches.
Right.
Give me a coach. Let me talk to Bryan Harsin and not about players even. If we got a Bryan Harsin interview, I would never tell us about Bo Nix. No, man, I don't want to know about Bo. Tell me about how you manage quarterbacks. Tell me about your system. Tell me about your method for developing young men into solid football players.
All right.
Right.
If you watch the War Report, that's the stuff you want to hear. Just being out there saying, "Oh, this person is committing here," listen, I don't care about all that, man. After they commit, we can talk about them because that becomes something factual. All the speculation, leave that to the gossip girls.
Or we just bring in a Jeffrey Lee who keeps up with this because that's what he gets paid to do. He
bring in an actual expert.
We bring in an authority figure on the subject, and he can tell you everything you want to know for an hour.
Correct. Right. So, when we want to do recruiting segments, we bring in JG or Jeffrey Lee. We had Nathan King on the show at one point. Guys who, again, are experts in that field and can inform us all. Yeah. Other than that, man, I'm telling you, the NIL rush that's happening by companies and content creators and all this stuff, right? Fool's gold. Because the truth is there are only a few people out there, real social figures and influencers that can bring you exposure, certainly. And that may mean dollars initially, but in the long term, if you don't have something of substance and of value to give to people or sell to people, it doesn't matter. I'd rather just be me. That's just my thought on it. Right. So, Chase and I had a long conversation about it. I see him in the comments here. Shout out to you, Chase. Corey, if you want to talk some football, man, just hit me up. You know where to find me. I'm at. I'm in these streets. In these virtual streets. Because the real streets are dangerous. I'm in the virtual streets. So I just think, again, I'm proud of the leadership that we have because we asked Alan Green about this during his interview. Hey, what's the plan for NIL? And he said, Mike, Caesar, there's a lot we don't know, right? Actually, it was Ike. Were you on? It was Ike. Right, yeah, right. There's a lot we don't know because there are a lot of laws that haven't been passed, and we're gonna have to figure this thing out. But we are prepared to move once we have all the information. And I believe that our university leadership will do the right thing as far as NIL is concerned, not only for the university, but also for the players. And I'm telling you, how they keep a leash on these players, so to speak, in terms of NIL means that disciplinary issues are going to be dealt with very, very differently.
Yeah. It's kind of like Walt was saying here about playing time being crucial. Coaches have a big say in keeping players happy, right? Like you're going to have to deal with a lot, right? And hopefully that helps players stay in line, right? Like you can't screw up because this isn't just playing time. This is money today. This is money in your future. like you have a lot more incentive to get this right. And that could be a lot of pressure for a young 18, 19-year-old, right?
Right.
And like you said, Mike, this puts the onus on that entire coaching staff. Listen, come in here with your head on straight. It's going to be a lot of stuff out here trying to pull you in a bunch of different directions, right?
Yeah.
People are going to want to pay you money. You're going to have to deal with wanting to go out and party and have fun. You got class that you got to go to, but we got to come in here and we got to do this work, right? We got to be ready on the football field, on the basketball court, on the track, on the whatever it is. And you got to figure out how to juggle all that stuff. It's a lot.
Right.
But hey, welcome to adulthood. Day one.
Well, listen, it puts a stress on a coaching staff that plays favorites. So but if you are a person who holds everyone accountable to what you've agreed to do to even be here in the first place, I think you're good because the culture is already set. But if you tend to let certain people get away with stuff and you don't let others, you're going to have some problems with that because this money is just magnifying that.
Yeah, listen, nobody else will say it, but I'll say it because I'm trifling. NIL under Gus would have been an absolute disaster. I think it would have been a complete disaster. I think we would have lost control of this team 100%. And given how things shook out, I'm happy we have the no nonsense coach that we have, given that the timing of the passing of this. Personally, I think that we got lucky. We got really lucky that we made the coaching switch before all this went down. Given on how I saw he managed it in the past, because he was either too light or super heavy-handed. Right. And there was no in between. And the last thing I'll say on it is that the education that the university needs to give the players in terms of how to handle NIL is similar to what the NFL does for rookies at the rookie symposium in terms of financial things. They talk to them about everything. Listen, you're going to have groupies, money. Like, you've got a lot of young guys coming into a lot of money all at once. And and without the proper leadership, like I'm not worried about Bo as far as NIL is concerned. You know why? Because for all signs point to that he has a solid home structure where there are people there that know how to deal with money and can guide him and keep him on the right track and keep him focused. Yeah. Right. So for somebody like that, money may not be an issue. For other players where there was no money and then all of a sudden there are thousands of dollars, it can become a big distraction because now it's more than just the work. It's all the things that you can do with the money that you have. And some players will get fooled by this. So we're going to see it happen. Some players will get fooled by this and they will lose sight and focus on the thing that opened the door for them in the first place. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? What Kanye said, he said, I don't know what's better, getting laid or getting paid. I just know when I'm chasing one, the other's getting away. Right. Like if you chase the money, right. If you chase the money and lose focus on the thing that opens the door for you to get it, it is going to be to your own detriment. And that is the guidance that the adults now have to give these kids to make sure that they stay focused and they don't blow their future up over $1,000 for some crappy sponsor. Yeah.
Listen, well, I believe that there will be a lot of education coming down from the universities in terms of helping these kids to understand this new normal, navigating these college waters, these NIL waters. And what we need to do as a show is educate you guys on this hashtag so you'll know what to post for our premiere tomorrow. So Mike G, give people necessary information they need to know about what we're giving away and how you can put your name in the drawing for it.
All right, there's some instructions involved, so listen up. If you are an insider, you have seen our segment that we dropped last week for the record. We took a deep dive on blue chips and how many blue chips it takes for Auburn to have a good offensive line. And a lot has been made of offensive line recruiting over the years. We took a look at the deep dive of the numbers over the last 8 years and what percentage of our offensive line was made up of blue chips. You definitely want to watch this. It was a great segment. If you're an insider and you've seen this already, let them know. Highly educational. We partnered with Justin Ferguson over at the Auburn Observer for the advanced statistics. So shout out to Justin Ferguson. But what we're going to do this week is tomorrow morning, we are going to premiere this segment, one time only, because it is insider exclusive, but we want everybody to understand what this segment is. Maybe you want to sign up as an insider to get access to these segments in the future. We're going to premiere it tomorrow, and you can get an entry into our raffle to win tickets to the Akron game. First game of the year. We are giving away 2 tickets to the Akron game. We want you to be able to have a chance to win. If you are an insider, you have 3 entries. But if you go to this video premiere tomorrow and drop hashtag season tickets in the live comments, you can get an additional entry. Insiders will be able to get a max of 8 entries into this raffle. Supporters will be able to get 7 entries into the raffle, because you will have 2 automatic entries, and you will be able to do 5 calls to action to get an additional 5 entries. Everyone who is just a subscriber will be able to get 5 entries. You just got to do 5 different things every week in the lead up to the season to get entered in. And then the week before the game, the Wednesday War Room before the game, we will draw. So you'll have a week and a half before the first game, if you win the tickets, to decide, plan to go. This is something that we're extremely excited about. We've been working hard, and we want to give this is our thank you to our subs and the people who have been supporting us, either monetarily through GoFundMe, with insider memberships, supporter memberships, or just by viewing us every week, joining us here on a 4th of July to talk football. We want to be able to give something back to you. So we've been doing the giveaways at the top of the broadcast. We also are giving away a War Report mug today. Hashtag get your weight up if you missed it. Drop that in the comments. We're going to draw out the 1 hour mark for that. But again, for the record, premiering tomorrow for everybody. And if you have watched our Building Rapports, when we release pre-recorded content, it premieres and you guys can comment live. For those of you who have seen it, you'll see me in the comments with you live, chopping it up as the video is playing. So I think there's some confusion. Some people think that we're live while we're doing it. It is actually pre-recorded, but because it's a premiere, you can live chat during the premiere. So how are you going to accomplish this to make sure you don't miss it? Go into your YouTube app, turn on all notifications for the War Report. That is the best way to make sure that you do not miss this segment when it premieres, because you have to catch it live, and drop hashtag season tickets to get entered into this contest for tickets to the Akron game. Super excited to see you guys tomorrow. I will be there counting up all the entries as you guys drop your hashtags. I'm very excited about it.
So listen, let's be clear. We're going to be doing 5 different things from now until we do the drawing that will give you an opportunity to get a free entry, right? So you will have up to 5 opportunities to enter for this contest. And these are not the only ticket giveaways we're going to be doing this season. Just know, we got some. Didn't I tell you last time I talked? Didn't I tell you last time I talked to y'all? We got some things going for this season. We're not done. You need to go ahead and sign up for that insider membership. All right. I'm gonna keep warning y'all, and y'all gonna miss your blessing because you're not listening.
If you don't want to do all that, you can just sign up for an insider membership and you get 3 free entries. But you have to be an insider at the time of the drawing. So if for some reason you cancel your membership, that negates your ticket entries.
And so 3 additional. But listen, I'm trying to tell you, don't miss your blessing because you're trying to wait and see what's going to happen. Go ahead and get in now, man, because we got more stuff coming. But anyway, tomorrow, hashtag season tickets in the premiere, and you'll get your entry for the free tickets there. See y'all there.
Let me tell the people something real quick. So we are, because this is just the Akron game, right? This is the first one. This is going to kind of give us an idea of where we're at. We're going to be hoping to see some sort of offensive identity in week 1. They'll probably try to hold something back, but there are other games here. And I just want to remind everybody, our home games this year are Akron, Alabama State, Georgia, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama.
Right. We're going to figure out something to do for each one of those. I don't know if he's going to do ticket giveaways for all of them yet.
Yeah.
But just know.
My eyes are on Georgia. My eyes are on Georgia. Listen, if we could just beat Georgia, I'll just Georgia. Yeah,
It's just
that's
Georgia.
That's what JG says. Just Georgia.
Yes,
Right?
just
Yeah.
Georgia. Aaron wants to know what for those who aren't aware, what time is that premiere tomorrow?
That is going to be 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern. But again, turn on all notifications for the War Report.
Yeah.
So you don't have to remember.
Yeah, if your notifications are on, then YouTube will let you know, and when we go live, it will be within the first couple of minutes of it going live. You'll get a notification. Just pop in, say what's up to us.
Yeah. So if you guys notice some of the giveaways that are designed to benefit people who watch our content in its entirety. We benefit from you guys when you watch. And so this isn't forever. This is for you. This is not for the one-time viewer that drops in once every week. If they just so happen to win, so be it. We're not rigging it. But the more you watch us, the more chances you have to actually win things and benefit. And that won't be, tickets won't be the only thing that we're doing. We have some really exciting things coming down the pipe. So I'm really excited about this. Hashtag get your weight up for a mug.
Indeed. And Corey, I hope you ain't capping, brother, but that's high praise. 2 of the greatest days of my life, right? Daughter being born and becoming an insider, right? So I'm gonna say we're probably in the top 3. I'm gonna think your wife would have something to say about that, but what do I know? I'm gonna get out your household now. We do have a question about, do we think we have a shot getting left tackle from LSU that hit the portal? I haven't heard any news.
I haven't either, but I also heard that he was leaving because of disciplinary issues.
Yes, I heard that.
I don't know how much he's going to be coveted by our staff to come in.
TJ Finley is
recruiting him.
Recruiting him.
Really?
So I wonder if that TJ Finley has been very openly recruiting this guy to come up to talk.
So I haven't heard any movement in terms of the staff really looking at him or taking a serious look at him. But if that changes, and probably down the road, we'll bring in one of the recruiting guys to actually address that for you. But yes, we do know he's in the portal, but I haven't heard any movement from Auburn in terms of actually going after this guy. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
Let's get into the latter portion of this of the show, shall we? Let's talk about these coaches, top 50 coaches.
Let me just say this before we move on. We did see your comments, your super chats. Thank you very much, Walt,
Thanks,
for
Walt.
chiming into
Appreciate
the conversation.
you.
Yeah, man. I don't want to make sure we acknowledge it. Walt's always been a great supporter of the program, and we always appreciate the contributions he's given to us. So, yes, sir.
Thank you, Walt. Anyway. Appreciate that. Let's talk about it. And the Sporting News, they dropped an article. We kind of alluded to it in past lives. We wanted to save it for today, but they gave their list of basically ranking all of the coaches, active coaches. And they give an explanation of the top 25. Okay. And so we have, of course, we got the breakdown of the top 25, as well as some notable guys who fell outside of the top 25, particularly those who are coaching in the SEC. So here's a list, and we're going to keep this up so you guys can see it. But here it is. So, of course, number 1, number 2, a lot of people aren't arguing that. Right. These have been 2 of the more successful coaches in recent history. They've won championships. They've competed against each other for championships and have had success against each other. So Nick Saban 1, Dabo Swinney 2 at Clemson. But here's where it gets interesting. Right after that, who's number 3? Who belongs in the top 25? Who we think is slated? We see who's on the outside looking in. Coming in at 26 is Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. And apparently Lane Kiffin has moved up from 2020. They do this list every year. And so there's some coaches who have either moved up or down depending on what they've done in the past few years, right? Or the past year or so. So Lane Kiffin has actually moved up to right outside the top 26. Leach was in the top 25. He has slid to 28. Harsin actually moved up by virtue of just coming to Auburn. And Scott Pittman is at 56. Shane Beamer is 66. Clark Lee at Vandy is at 77. So here's a list, guys, and then I want to hear from you. Let's just go ahead and just get this out the way. All right. Because I see some of you guys' comments already in here. Then this is good. I'm loving this. So I want to know from you guys.
I just want to see Mike's. I wish B Will was on today to talk about number 5, but I want to see Mike's reaction to number 4.
That's all I'm saying. Who's overrated? Who's overrated on this list? And I'll bring it. 4. I'll pull it right back up just so you can look at it, Mike. We want to see your face first. And then once you get started, I'm gonna pull the list back up. All right. Okay. Mike's bursting. So what you got, Mike?
Hold on. Bring the list back up.
Okay. All right.
Number 4 right there is your guy.
You see number 4. You see it. Hold on. No, he gave a surrender cobra. We missed it.
That's your guy.
Your boy.
Sunday is the Lord's Day.
It is.
Okay.
But this is something.
This is blasphemy.
It's blasphemy.
There you go.
Brian Kelly might be the most overrated coach in the last 20 years that I can think of. I cannot think of a single other coach that has consistently not achieved anything at the top levels of football for the amount of appearances that he's made. Literally has won nothing. He has won nothing at Notre Dame.
Whoa.
And I mean, no championships. I don't care if they don't play in a conference, right? Like no team has underperformed more than his team when facing top competition. And I can tell you, even for a school like Auburn, when we get there, we're competitive at least. And I just don't, I don't see a ton of his players going on to the next level, really accomplishing much. He's had some pretty good players come through there. I get why you put it. I'm not saying he's not a top 25 coach, but a top 5 coach.
Yeah.
Give me a break, man.
So let me play instead of devil's advocate. I'm going to play sporting news advocate. He's gone 33-6 the past 3 years, though, Mike.
Yeah,
two playoff appearances, which you can argue he had no business being in. Probably both of those, but he made it. It's part of his resume. So playing it's not like he's Yeah,
I just think to be a top 5 coach, you must have beat somebody else in the top 5, right? Hell, somebody else in the top 10. He's getting whooped by all those schools.
He beat Clemson without
Yeah, he won when they didn't
how
have
did the
their
rematch go?
Quarterback playing.
Yeah, how did the rematch go? Right? Like, come on, man. Like, and they almost lost that game to a freshman, freshman quarterback
at home.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, I just don't understand. He said, I see Corey says, where's Franklin on that list? They had
Franklin was 11. No, he
11.
was 11. Yeah,
right. Yeah, and so pull this back up one more time, Caesar. So the thing that stands out here to me is just look at this, man. You've got in this top 25, you've got 6 SEC coaches. This underscores how uber competitive our league is,
right?
And what's interesting here is that when you look at this list, I'm looking around and I'm looking for Gus.
He was number 36, actually.
He was right behind Harsin.
Right. And I just think, again, remember that dude was getting paid as the 6th or 7th highest paid coach in college football.
Correct.
So when you're looking at this list, this should be a who's who of the highest paid coaches in college football.
Yeah, because look, Jim Harbaugh is in the top 5, I think, currently, and he's number 15 on the list. Which I think that's
you can argue is that may be a bit too high even for him.
Yeah, for sure. Based on what he's accomplished, Mario Cristobal kind of get Paul Christ, over at Wisconsin again. You've got some kind of middling coaches there that have had some success. Gary Patterson, I got 0 issues with him being in the top 25 of coaches based on what he's accomplished. I think Bryan Harsin is right where he should be, and he'll have a chance to prove by the end of the season that he belongs higher.
Well, I like how they're giving respect to people who have had success at the highest levels, right? So you're going to put people in who are actually doing it at the Power 5 level. You know, someone who I feel, and I understand why he's not in this list, I feel like he should be right outside, if not in the top 25, is Hugh Freeze.
Yeah,
I know
he was in the top 50. So I forgot where he was on there.
He was 30, I think. He was 30. I get it. Because of what happened at Ole Miss. But again, there's a former Auburn quarterback over there where he is at Liberty who's probably going to be playing on Sundays. And we didn't see that coming at all. And when you look at what he's able to do with talent at Ole Miss, that guy is he's destined to climb that list. He should probably, you can make an argument he should be on this list.
Right.
But I think that there are some people who I think for the most part, this list is actually respectable overall. Of course.
Where is Ryan Day?
Ryan Day is 6.
Yeah. Okay. There he goes. Okay. Yeah. I was sorry. My eyes. I was like, yo, where's Ryan Day?
I think the jury is still out on him. I like what he's doing. I can't knock it. You can almost put him in that whole Lincoln Riley kind of category. In terms of,
I'm actually surprised Ryan Day is not ahead
of Brian Kelly.
And him and Jimothy, I think, are ahead of Ryan Day. I think is a little. I mean, well, Jimbo maybe because of
I put Jim Fisher definitely ahead of Brian Kelly for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know why Brian Kelly's number 4 on this list. I mean, Jimbo has had okay returns at Texas A&M, but he's better than Brian Kelly. Kirby Smart's actually kind of low. I think he slid Brian Kelly,
but he slid. I think when I look at the list, Kirby Smart was at 4 last year. So he slid a little bit this year to 8.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, why though? I mean, he hasn't done anything worse than he did in the last. Like he's pretty. Like you know what you're going to get with Kirby Smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look how competitive the SEC is, man. Right. Even if you count the coaches just outside of the top 25, I mean, I just think it underscores how hard it is in our conference to win championships. We had a guy that hit us on Twitter. We did a facts or nah about who would make the playoff first. Mm-hmm. And when you look at a list like this list tells me that in a 12-team playoff, the SEC has a strong chance to get 3 teams in.
For sure.
Right. And so the question we asked on that facts or nah was, would Gus be able to get UCF to the playoff before Bryan Harsin is able to do that in a 12-team playoff? And given that the earliest that playoff could start would be 2023, my answer was no. And his response was that, well, Gus is more likely to win the AAC than Harsin is to win the SEC. And I said, while that's true, you don't have to win the SEC to get into the playoff. Correct. If we had a 12-team playoff last year, Florida, Alabama, and Texas A&M all would have gotten in.
Correct.
Right.
And it's not even an argument. All those teams would have gotten in. And what I love about the playoff too is this, right? You're less likely to have excellent talents like high draft picks sit out games at the end of the season too, because Florida had a ton of people who are either hurt or just sat out in that bowl game.
So did Georgia.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they just had a lot of people who just didn't play. And in a 12-team playoff, we see all that talent. Everybody's going to play. So as a fan, we don't get cheated out of the experience of seeing the best against the best. So I just look at that list and I'm thinking, man, like, wow, that's a who's who of the best in the SEC, and all those coaches legitimately, if they win their games, have a shot to get their team in a 12-team playoff.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're in the top 25 in the SEC as a coach, you should be able to get your team into a 12-team playoff. Every other year, you should be in the discussion for the playoff almost every year. I think if it's going to be 12 teams.
Sure. I see some of you guys in the comments. Some of y'all feel a certain way about a certain coach in Florida. Some people feel like
Mullen overrated. Yeah,
Mullen overrated. What do you guys think?
I don't Listen, I'm a Dan Mullen fan. I think that for Florida to have such a, let's see, take it back even for Mississippi State when he was the head coach at Mississippi State, for him to have just okay talent and win consistently at Mississippi State. Like he had, what was the kid's name that was the quarterback there? Fitzgerald? Was that his name?
Nick Fitzgerald.
Yeah. He had Nick Fitzgerald out there looking like he could have gotten drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Fitzgerald's not an
as
NFL
long as he was running.
But he knew. But see, here's the thing: he understood what Nick Fitzgerald could do, so he made his offense fit Nick Fitzgerald.
Sure,
and it worked.
Agreed.
You go and you have Kyle Trask, who is the polar opposite of Nick Fitzgerald, and he has him in Heisman contention.
Yeah, for sure.
Nick Mullen knows how to draw up plays that fit his personnel. Doesn't matter. Give me a guy, I'll figure out how to make him productive.
Right.
You can't say that for a lot of the offensive gurus around college football.
He can scheme around his talent. It's a simple way of saying it. He knows how to scheme
which listen, I had a work buddy, big time Florida fan. This is after they got rid of the last guy. And I said, man, y'all need to go grab Mullen. Like, he was like, you think so? And I was like, yes, you need to go get Dan Mullen. And it's been a good hire. It's been a good hire because, well, again, to your point, Ike, we've seen what he's been able to do with quarterbacks at Mississippi State, right? You're not in it for these top QB. I mean, again, he got a guy in the NFL who's doing well, right? So again, this guy has proven to do more with less. So what happens when you put him in Florida? What happens to Florida then? So I actually admire the job he's been doing at Florida.
The issue for him, in my mind, why he's not higher on this list is because he hasn't been able to put a good defense on the field. Like, he's got to figure out the defensive side of the ball.
He needs a new coordinator.
Schools. Right. You got to figure out the defense, because the defense is what's letting them down. Florida's putting up points. They can't stop anybody, though.
Right.
They can't stop anybody with any sort of capable offense. If your offense is capable, you're running through Florida.
Yeah, listen, Kyle Trask was one of my favorite quarterbacks I've watched over the last 5 years. He was really fun to watch last season, I thought. And the job that he did with him makes me excited to see what Emory Jones is going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, because he just doesn't miss at quarterback. And I just feel very strongly that, he belongs in that list of top 10 coaches based on being able to get the most production out of the talent that he has, especially offensively. Now, to Ike's point, he needs to bring somebody in that can fix his defense. If he had that guy, they may win that SEC championship game last year.
For sure.
Right. So it's not about talent.
You're not going to stop that Bama team, but you at least want to put yourself in where the shootout, you actually have a chance to get a stop at the end of the game.
At the end of the game, right.
They had no prayer. They couldn't stop Bama.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Ed had a question about where's Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly actually rounded out the top 50. He came in at 50.
Yeah, right where he should be. I hate him. I don't like him.
So, well, hopefully you like giving away a T-shirt or a mug.
So let's today.
We're doing a mug. Hopefully you like giving away a mug. So let's do that right now.
Yeah. So again, if you're watching us and you turn off your app and came back on, make sure you are live. Fast forward to where we're at. Come on up.
No, at this point, it's too late.
Yeah, come on up. If there's a chance, I'm saying it now and delaying it for like 60 seconds, just in case there's a chance somebody can catch up. Because sometimes it lags behind, and you have to give us a shout out in the comments after you win to get it. So
you guys are not fans of this mug, clearly, because what I'm looking at here is 45 entries and 125 people on the line.
Man,
so
it better be because y'all already got one.
Yeah, probably might be it. These are our faithful here on the 4th of July. So
yeah, listen, can we just give a shout out to y'all? 4th of July.
Y'all
I know
awesome.
y'all aren't at work or whatever, but you could be kicking it with the family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you're like Auburn Dad. You're posted up with your barbecue and your drinks, and you're watching the War Report. But we appreciate all 125 of y'all.
Oh man,
Corey, it's your day. Man,
Corey said, "I'm not even excited anymore." Come on, Corey, don't be like that.
Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Alan Green said, "Don't lose hope." Let's see. Watch, he's gonna win it. He's gonna win it this time.
We're rooting
right.
for you, Corey.
All right, so we're just going to give you guys 20 more seconds here to get in before we hit this drawing. Can we get to 50? See Jeremy Redding jumping in there with us. A lot of people rooting for Corey.
People are not entering the drawing just so Corey has a better chance of winning.
Oh, man. Joseph Ballard stuck in a hotel quarantine. I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah.
Hopefully you win something, make you feel better. All right, Ike, go ahead and roll. Oh, there goes 50.
There's 50. Let's do it.
Roll it.
I'm pushing the button. Boom.
Boom.
Corey,
I already saw Corey's
there,
name.
man.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll come back around. I saw Corey twice. Bug Mac, are you in the comments here, brother? Holla at us. We got
I
confetti
definitely seen
flying.
your comment before today too, so this is not one of those. It's just first time saying something. He wins.
Yeah, man, we're gonna give it a little bit to see if old Bug Mac comes through. Bug,
Auburn
are
Dad
you
said,
in the
Corey,
house?
me and you could be in the drawing and still lose. That's funny.
Bug Mac.
Bug,
Hey,
what's
Bug,
up, man?
What's
I
up,
see
brother?
you there.
Hey, listen.
Congratulations, sir.
business@thewarreport.com. That's business@thewarreport.com. Send us your address so we can get that mug out to you ASAP. We appreciate you supporting the War Report here on the 4th of July.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to say it one more time for everybody who just might be joining us. We are giving away tickets to the Akron game. We have a very unique way. Everything that we do is built around getting more value to you guys. So tomorrow we are premiering 10 Central, 11 Eastern, for the record. This is a brand new insider segment that we are dropping in concert with Justin Ferguson over at the Auburn Observer, where we take a deep dive into some advanced statistics to get a deeper understanding of the makeup of our team and what to expect in recruiting kind of moving forward. So this segment is Caesar and I have taken a look at those numbers that Justin provides us. 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern tomorrow. You have to catch the premiere and then drop a hashtag season tickets in the live premiere comments to get an entry into the raffle for two tickets to the Akron game. Now, I've told you guys what time it is, but the easiest way to not miss it is to turn on all notifications. I know a lot of you guys are watching on your iPhones. If you are watching us on some other device, just put the notifications on YouTube on your iPhone. Turn on all notifications for the War Report on YouTube, on your Droid apps, iPhone apps, so that when the premiere is about to hit, it will let you know so that you cannot miss the opportunity to win tickets to this game. A lot of you I know live in and around Auburn and would actually be able to go if you won. If you do not go, I hope that if you win and you can't go, I hope that you'll bless somebody else with the tickets and give somebody else an opportunity to go catch this game. There are a lot of people out there who, for us, going to see an Auburn game might not be a big deal, but the money means something to somebody else. And if you win and you cannot make it, my one request is that you pass that along to somebody who can, who maybe has never been to an Auburn game and always wanted to go, and this would be their opportunity. So I'm looking forward to seeing the social media posts. We definitely want you guys to take pictures with the tickets after you win and tag us on social media. There'll be some other things we're asked of you if you do happen to win. But hashtag season tickets in the premiere, the live chat premiere of For the Record tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern. Most of you, your holiday transfers to tomorrow, so I expect there'll be a lot of people who will be able to catch that. We're really excited about being able to give this away to you guys. It's an amazing. I feel really blessed to be in a position where we're now. I mean, last season we maybe had 10 people watching us live at the beginning of last season.
Oh, that was a good day. That was a good day, actually.
On a good day. And a whole year later, we are giving away tickets to games. It is amazing. So,
and that's big credit to all of you who have continued to support us, man. Whether it's you've got a membership or, you Walton, you're sponsoring stuff, man, or companies sponsoring giveaways, and just even if you haven't given us a dime of money, man, but you continue to come through and watch the show, man, we really appreciate it because you all have made it to where we can. And this is the thing. Again, I know we're about to get out of here. This is the thing I just keep having to stress for you all. we take the money that you all provide to us and we reinvest it back into this program in some sort of way to keep upgrading it and making it where the $6 you spend per month, the $3 you spend per month, the hour or 3 hours that you spend watching our content goes to good use.
Right.
And so we just want to continue doing that kind of stuff, man. Like we're able to get with Lee County Humane Society because you guys continue to watch our program and they're like, oh man, and so we're able to give money to them. And that's something that makes us feel good. Right. So we appreciate you all for allowing us to be able to do this sort of thing on a continuous basis, which is really dope. And
shout out to Mario Nettles, right? Jumping in here. I forgot to mention it, reminded me. If you are an insider, you automatically have 3 entries into this raffle.
Yep.
And if you're an insider, you automatically have 3 entries into this raffle, and you can get a max of 8 by also going to drop #season tickets in the live chat of the premiere For the Record tomorrow.
Right. Well, that will be 1. So you'll have 4 other opportunities.
So 4. Yeah. So after tomorrow, if you do that and you're an insider, you'll have 4 entries into that raffle. Four chances to win. You can get a max of 8. Supporters will get a max of 7. Everybody else just 5 entries. But I'm excited. I'm really excited for that raffle. So thank you, insiders. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
And we'll be sure to relay the message to B. Will that you guys are wishing him a happy 4th as well. He's visiting family in Birmingham. So he couldn't be with us. He's here with us in spirit, but not physically. So man, we just want to thank you guys definitely for hanging with. And again, like Mike G said, on a good day, man, we had 10 people watching on game day, right? We have over 100 people watching us on the 4th of July. Right. Like that just says a lot about you guys as a community. We don't take it for granted. I would watch other content creators and they would just be baffled at the fact that people would take time out of their day to watch them or care about what they have to say. And I feel that way as well, is that I'm honored that you guys will allow us to be a part of your holiday. So thanks again, man. And again, you can tell we're putting everything to good use because I've gone back and watched some of our old stuff and it is painful. Like I'd rather scratch a chalkboard, right? So I appreciate you guys because we are definitely putting a lot of what we're making back into this to make it better. So that, and again, this is our community. So we want you guys to be proud of what of this community and what we're presenting for you guys on a weekly basis. So another thing is,
say this. Before you go, gotta show him the shirt, man. Got his shirt.
Oh
on,
yeah.
Watch the film shirt. You know,
I got my watch the film shirt. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So definitely go check that out.
Merch store is live now, man.
Lisa Wise, yours is on the way.
She did get back in touch with you.
Yeah. Lisa Wise, yours is on the way. So we appreciate you as well. Lisa is one of our most devout members, and this has been, I'm just blown away. When we have these broadcasts, I like to take time to reflect on how far we've come. So this is going to be a lot of fun during the season. Certainly
we have to get a way to show Mike doing this during the game for our insiders. That would have to be
oh man, listen, I have talked about this with you guys. I've warned my girlfriend. I have just done everything I could to try to prepare for this season because, as we do this, a lot of people view us as media now, which is something else that kind of blows my mind because I consider myself just a fan like you guys, first and foremost, and not media. We're not media talking heads, but I'm a fan. And as a fan, I watch the game differently than most people. So I don't like distractions during the game. I don't like people having side conversations around me while I'm watching the game. If you are not watching the game, I won't be talking to you. So focus on the game, be into it. Keep your comments to only those that are of intelligent nature that I agree with during the game. I'll hear your off comments I don't agree with during the game. And we can be reasonable after. During, reason goes out the window. So I'm working out how to bring that to you guys here in some way that won't get us banned from YouTube. And Yeah, it's going to be fun. Having being able to watch the game virtually with you guys is gonna be a lot of fun. And the live chat during the game as well too. If we can work that out, we'll be with you guys at halftime, which is a good time to mention this. Become an insider. Insiders are going to be able to do a lot with us on game day. And if you watch the game by yourself, but just need somebody to say WTF with, we'll be here for you during the season. It's going to be a lot of fun. So game day content will be insider exclusive, right? I'm talking pregame, halftime, postgame. And then we're still going to come at you guys Sunday with our normal weekend tailgate, as well as film review the week of. So we'll be breaking down film. That's something that's going to be very unique to the War Report. Is that you can turn on ESPN and see a couple highlights, but win, lose, or draw, we're going to take a look at play-by-play look at what happens during the game. We're going to break it down, and from time to time, we're going to bring other great football minds in to break it down with us. It's going to be so much fun. If you're an insider, there will be so much value for you during the season. We had a comment from a recent insider that just said, how much he had learned about the game from watching weekly, and that is why we're doing this. So become an insider. I promise, if you love Auburn football, you will not. We are going to provide a one-of-a-kind experience during the season that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else. Especially you could tune into the SEC Network, but as a fan, does anybody else notice that when we win, it seems like the highlights last 45 seconds, and when we lose, they drag on forever.
It's and run on repeat.
Yeah, it's a whole 10-minute breakdown on why we suck. And I have just gotten so tired of that when we win, we want the deep dive when we win. It just seems like to me, when certain other teams win, they pick apart every aspect and talk about how great this was and look at how good this was. And when we win, they just gloss over it. Auburn wins. Look at this one touchdown. And then let's go look at the Florida game. Now we're in a position to be able to bring you that deep dive when we win.
Right.
Here's what went good, and here's what went well, and here's what we can still improve on from game to game. Because even in wins, there are learnings.
Right.
Another thing that I felt like was the danger of the last coach. When we won, we learned nothing from those wins. We were more likely to fall off a cliff the next game than we were to continue building on that momentum. And I'm hoping that Harsin can start to change the narrative there about continuous and steady improvement, whether we win or lose.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm excited. Please become an insider. We're going to have a lot of fun with you guys this season.
And shout out Chris Long.
Hey, Chris.
Welcome.
My man.
Welcome to the community, man. And again, man, thanks to all of you guys. Thanks so much for making this one of the shortest off seasons I can recall in recent memory, man. This has been a very short off season, and it's been all because of you guys, because I look forward to chopping it up with you guys every week. You guys are hilarious. You guys are very knowledgeable, and it's been very fun, and I can't wait to this fall with you guys. So
for sure.
For those of you for people who don't know that we're out here, who are Auburn fans, who are hungry for Auburn content, please do us a favor and share our videos when we go live. Share the rest of our content throughout the week so people are made aware of it, so that they can have and enjoy the same experiences you guys are getting. Let's grow this community. Let's do our part. Use hashtag Get Your Weight Up. Please be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're out there on social media, you can find us at The War Report on Instagram and Twitter. If you're a TikToker, you can find us at TW Report. That's it for now, but there's more on the way, guys. We will see you later this week. See you tomorrow, actually, as we drop our For the Record. Guys, have a safe 4th of July. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your loved ones, friends, and family. But as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.